All right, watch out, you guys. Please don't walk away.
From City Hall. The heart of our city government and a building that New Yorkers should be able to look to for greatness and imagination, but have come to expect only small ideas and scandal. The last time I spoke at a sunrise press conference was on the morning of June 24th, when our movement felt ascendant, but certainly not inevitable. That morning in Astoria, there were few in this city who dared to imagine that we could win, and what it would mean for a city that has, for too long, served only the wealthy and the powerful, at the expense of those who work through sunrises and sunsets. Today, the morning before Election Day, we have not only come so far, we stand on the verge of ushering in a new day for our city. This morning, our city, still plunged in darkness, I set off from the other end of the Brooklyn Bridge. And this walk reflects the story of the movement that we have built over this last year. Just like this campaign when we launched on October 23rd over a year ago, I began with only a few people by my side. But the banner we carried told a story that we have always known to be true, even when we were polling at 1%. Our time is now. As the first signs of light began to emerge over the horizon, more and more people joined us. It was still cold, and it reminded me of the cold months of last winter, when this campaign first started to reach New Yorkers. In December, and in January, and in February, hundreds and then thousands of New Yorkers began to see their dreams and anxieties reflected in this campaign, and wrapped themselves in down jackets and scarves and gloves to solicit petition signatures and knock doors. As we made progress across the bridge, the crowd marching alongside me grew. And it reminded me of the months as we led into June, as this movement began to resonate across New York. We walked the length of Manhattan then, and felt the power of a city waking up to all that was possible. And then, standing at the halfway point, the highest point of the bridge, the sun finally started to emerge. When the sun comes up, everything changes. Shadows lift off the river, light reflects off of office building windows, and you start to feel the warmth of a new day. That was how it felt when we beat Andrew Cuomo by 13 points on June 12th. And we did so by winning with the most votes of any candidate in New York City primary history. That is how we will feel again tomorrow when polls close at 9 p.m. Now with the sun rising, even more New Yorkers joined us as we came closer and closer to Manhattan and to City Hall. And our group was a powerful embodiment of the incredible coalition that this campaign has built. Not only were we bolstered by city workers and long-serving volunteers, the canvassers and the advocacy groups that formed the backbone of this movement ever since we began, we also had the power of labor alongside us. And some of the most powerful elected leaders across the city and across the state. Leaders in the council, leaders at the state legislators, leaders in our Attorney General Tish James. And these leaders, whether they represent the entirety of the city or the entirety of the state, are leaders who have shown us time and time again what it could look like to fight for the future that this city deserves. By the time we reached this borough of Manhattan, the sun was casting its light and City Hall was caught in its glow. When I am mayor, I don't want City Hall to only be a beacon of light once the sun has risen and illuminated it from the exterior. I want to make city government a light of its own, that people across this city feel at all hours of this day. Let them feel the light of City Hall when their late night bus home is faster and freer and safer too. Let them feel the light of City Hall when the clock strikes midnight to mark the first day of a new month and the rent payment that looms doesn't make them feel a pit in their stomach. Let them feel the light of a City Hall when a baby's cries wake them in the middle of the night and they know that they have high-quality childcare waiting for them in the morning. And in a moment of grave political darkness, as Trump goes after his political foes, including Attorney General James, as his masked ICE agents abduct our immigrant neighbors at 26 Federal Plaza, just a few blocks from here, and as New Yorkers in every borough contend with an affordability crisis that he promised to fix but has only exacerbated, let City Hall, with our compassion, our conviction, and our clarity, be the light that our city and our nation so desperately need. Late last night, Andrew Cuomo received Donald Trump's endorsement. If elected as mayor, our city will only descend deeper into a darkness that has forced too many of our neighbors to flee and made it impossible for working people to live lives of dignity. Now, I cannot transform City Hall alone. As we walked the bridge this morning, I held one corner of the banner that you see here, but I could not hold it on my own. I needed my partners in labor. I needed my partners in elected office. I needed my partners in everyday New Yorkers who are sick of being let down by those that they elect. And I needed them to help me carry this banner and to help me carry this light. Election day looms, my friends. More than 735,000 New Yorkers have already voted. And countless more will decide tomorrow what kind of leadership they want to define the next 4 years. Every voter will consider something different. But ultimately, the question before us is very simple. Morning versus night. Do we want it to be morning again in New York? When we feel the warmth of the sun on our skin and the possibility inherent and innate to every new day? Or do we want to shiver in the night cast by a politics of fear and self-enrichment? Our time has come, New York. Our time is now. Thank you very much.
Our time is now! Our time is now! Our time is now! Alright guys, we're gonna do a few questions. Thank you.
Cuomo trying to appeal to Republicans and trying to appeal that message that Trump did last year, or kids that are in anger against you, is something that could make the polls go out and that will make a difference.
You know, we have long known that Andrew Cuomo is Donald Trump's puppet in this race. What we did not quite expect is for him to become his parrot in the final days as well. We have heard words from a former governor of this state that we would imagine they were coming from the president of this country. Words like describing diversity as a weakness while he confused which black host he was speaking to. Words like describing this movement, this candidacy, as if it is an affront to the values of this city, when in fact it is the embodiment of the values of this city. And I think what President Trump's remarks show us last night is what many of us have long known and feared, which is that when you are too busy cashing the checks of the billionaire donors who gave us the second term of this president, you will not be able to stand up to that same president. And so what we are here to show is that the answer to a Donald Trump presidency is not to create its mirror image here in City Hall. It is to create an alternative that can speak to what New Yorkers are so desperate to see in their own city and what they find in themselves and their neighbors every day. A city that believes in the dignity of everyone who calls this place home. And I continue to be confident about our chances heading into Election Day tomorrow, but I will never allow myself or this movement to become complacent. Because when I look at everyone in this crowd, if you can raise your hands for one moment for me. You see these hands around me. These are the hands of New Yorkers. They will use them to cast their vote. They will use them to knock on doors. They will use them to phone bank their neighbors. They will use them to remake this city in the image of those that we love across this city who've been pushed out of it every single day. These are the hands I look to more than any poll, more than any prediction. It is these hands that will deliver us this city.
Hands up!
This is what President Trump said about you last night. He said, quote, "It's going to be hard for me as the president to give a lot of money to New York because if you have a communist running New York, all you're doing is wasting the money you're sending away." My question to you is, as you prepare to potentially take office in this 2 months, assuming, and I believe you're confident that you're going to win tomorrow,
But not complacent.
New Yorkers are preparing for this kind of threat, and what are you going to do over the next 2 months to set up your government so that you can respond quickly?
We see Donald Trump make these kinds of threats to this city and to its elected officials on a regular basis. The difference that we offer is a movement that will be unbowed by these threats. And we need not look far for an inspiration on how exactly to continue to fight for that which is correct in this city and in this state. Attorney General James continues to show the courage that New Yorkers are desperate to see in elected officials. Courage to hold everyone account to the same set of laws. Now, Donald Trump may speak as if it is his decision, but this is money that this city is owed. This is money that we will expect to collect. And what we have seen in cities and states across the country is the necessity of not just using the bully pulpit, but also the courts to ensure that every dollar that a municipality is owed is a dollar that is paid. And I will stake every single day after this election to put together my city government, my city hall, to ensure that it is prepared not only for the threats from Donald Trump, but also the threats from an affordability crisis that has put 1 in 4 New Yorkers in poverty.
Whose money? Our money. Whose money? Our money.
I have a two-parter for you about the weekend. First of all, I was hoping you could talk about your phone call or some details with former President Obama. And then secondly, what did you think of that SNL sketch?
You know, I really have to give it to them because they had the rings, they had the watch, they had everything. And I think, you know, it is a joy to join my assembly colleague, Harvey Epstein, in the pantheon of being an SNL. And I think, you know, we deserve to have leaders who can laugh at themselves a little, and I look forward to being one of those. And I appreciated the call with President Obama and his support for the movement that we have created, in the importance that he shared about the vision that we have and the fact that we have to deliver that vision. And we take that hope very, very seriously. And I also shared with him that it was his speech of a more perfect union all those years ago that was in part the inspiration for the speech that I shared outside of the mosque not too many Fridays ago. An opportunity to rise above the 24-hour news cycle that is typical in our politics and speak to the soul of the city and the people of the city. And I appreciated his words, I appreciated his time, and I appreciate this movement for putting us on the brink of delivering us a new city in this place.
Time for one more. Two-parter as well. Number one, some people say it turned out to hit 2 million. Is that good for you? Or Cuomo, he's arguing it's good for him. And my second question is, if you win, what will you do on day one here in City Hall?
I think it is good for this entire city that turnout is 2 million. I think the more New Yorkers vote, the better it will be for our city. Because for a long time we have said that to describe democracy as something to be protected purely because it is an ideal or a value, we lose sight of the role it has to play in New Yorkers' lives. Democracy must find its worth from its ability to deliver on the material needs of working New Yorkers. And the more New Yorkers can see their struggles in democracy, the more they participate in that democracy, the stronger it will be, and the stronger our movement will be. And so I'm excited by that, and I continue to ask, if anyone has ever sent you a message on WhatsApp, send them a message back telling them now's the time to vote. There was a man I met at a mosque in southern Brooklyn many, many months ago, and he sent me a message of 58 different types of contacts he was going to reach out to for this election. And I encourage everyone to learn from that example. And the first day that I will spend in City Hall will be very much like the last day I will spend in City Hall. It will be focused on the cost of living crisis. It will be focused on delivering for New Yorkers who have come to see this institution as more of a distraction than as a delivery on the directive of the people. And that means the very same 3 things that we began this campaign speaking about. We said that we were going to freeze the make buses fast and free, deliver universal child care. These will continue to be the compass for us as we look to ensure the most expensive city in the United States of America becomes affordable for each and every New Yorker.
Thank you guys.
Subscribe to One India and never miss an update. Download the One India app now.